Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take the next step with fractions. Today we are going to be subtracting fractions with like denominators. And if you watch the video for adding fractions with like denominators, we're going to start out pretty much the same way. A reminder that a fraction is part of one whole. It's a number that is not one whole, it is less than one whole. So this fraction right here, 4/5, has a numerator of 4 and a denominator of 5. We are going to subtract 3/5 from 4/5. And I'll start by drawing a simple picture for you right here. Okay, if I have my whole here and divide it into 5 parts, because that is what the denominator tells us, I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts to start with. But I am going to subtract 3 of them. So I'm going to take away 1, 2, 3 of those 4 parts I originally had. And I am left with 1 of those fifths. Now, this is also very simple to see just by looking at the fraction. Since our denominators are like, we keep our denominator the same, and we look at our numerators. 4 minus 3 equals 1. So I drew a picture to show you what it looks like, but really, this is something simple enough to do without a picture. Let's do another very simple example. 7/10 minus 3/10. Now I could draw out a whole and divide it into 10 parts, color in 7 of them, then color in 3 of those 7 with a different color. Or I can simply look at this and say, well, my denominator is the same, so I'll keep it. My numerator 7 minus the other numerator 3 equals 4. And I end up with the answer 4/10. Okay, one more really simple one. 6/7 minus 1/7. Again, I could draw pictures of what 6/7 looks like, and I could take away one of those sevenths and show you that I have something left. Or I could look at my denominator and say, well, it's the same, so I'm going to keep it the same for my answer. Now I'm going to subtract 6 minus 1, and I get 5/7. So that's the easy way of doing this, but as you know, sometimes you get trickier problems. So if you had a subtraction problem like this, 12/5 minus 3/5. Now you're going to notice right away, this is an improper fraction. So the numerator is larger than the denominator. And actually, in this case, we're kind of lucky that we have an improper fraction, because if we didn't, we would have to do some converting. 12/5 minus 3/5. Well, the denominator is the same. 12 minus 3 is 9. And we end up with 9/5. That part was easy. Notice our answer is still an improper fraction. So we need to figure out how to make that improper fraction a mixed number. All right, and for this, I'm going to draw a picture. The whole is 5 parts. I know I have at least one whole and at least part of another whole. So I'm going to start with just 2 pictures. I'll add more if I need to. I know I have 9 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, I only needed the 2 pictures. I have 1 whole colored in and 4/5 colored in. So my answer is 1 4/5, which is the same as 9/5. All right, one more of these and then I will sign off. 5/3 minus 1/3. Again, you'll notice this first fraction is an improper fraction. Okay, my denominator is the same, so I will keep it the same. 5 minus 1 is 4. I'm left with an improper fraction again. So I can either draw my picture or I can say, how many groups of 3 can I get out of 4? Well, if I skip count by 3, 3, 6, I already went over 4. So I know I can only get 1 group of 3 out of 4. But I also know I have more than 1 group of 3. So I am going to do 4 minus 3 equals 1. So I know I'm going to take my 1 whole, and I have 1/3 left over. Hope that's helpful.